Hello, welcome to On Me Ed Son. I hope you're all well. So this is an instant reaction, I suppose, well, a delayed reaction to UFC 295. There's some boxing last night. I'm just outside the London Stadium, just a little bit early here for West Ham against Nottingham Forest. Let's see how we get on today. This fixture last season, we beat them 4-0. There's a lot of comments online saying, "Oh, we smashed them." Well, we did beat them 4-0, but I seem to recall it's about 70 minutes into that game where it was kind of 0-0. We weren't playing very well at all. So it'll be interesting to see how we're getting on today. I'll probably do another little live post-match reaction to this one as well. But anyway, this live session is more about the UFC 295 results last night and my picks. I'm obviously doing quite well with my picks here on UFC in MMA world, because my picks, Aspinall and Pereira, they won. Great matches, great fights, and quick, especially Aspinall fight, quick. He's a tough bloke, I'll tell you. He is a man mountain, that fella. So fair play to Aspinall. Yeah, he was my pick anyway. And definitely fair play to Pereira as well. What a massive achievement he's done. His record just speaks for himself. Before MMA and now into MMA and UFC, of course. 2 titles in the same year. It's just unbelievable. I think, was it 7 fights he's had? Unbelievable. I've got to say, I was watching the boxing last night as well, and Masood against San Martin in the Newcastle fights and the matchroom boxing. And this goes to show what I was talking about a little bit earlier on in one of my previous videos about boxing scorecards, and I suppose you can get the same in MMA as well. But some of the scorecards recently, and it just seems to be that every time I watch like a full card, there's like 2 or 3 fights where you think, what the hell are the judges looking at? Sometimes I get comments on another channel, but also on this channel, where people are saying, well, what do you know? You're not a boxing expert. I'm not a boxing expert. I'm not an MMA expert. Never claimed to be. I'm just a fan. That's it is. But, you know, when I can see that one fighter has done a lot better than the other fighter, he scored better, and I know a bit, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert. That's never been the case. But when people accuse you, say, well, you don't know anything, your opinion means nothing, well, that's fine, that's fair enough. It probably doesn't to you, because it won't do, will it? But when my opinion is exactly the same as the commentators, and it's exactly the same as the professional pundits on there and ex-fighters, then you've got to be asking yourself, well, maybe I do know a little bit, and maybe, I'll tell you what, some of the judges need to have a long, hard look at themselves, because especially in the Masood against San Martin fight last night, I thought from round 1 San Martin was having it. He was just more industrious, on the front foot. He was just throwing in more shots, a lot more shots, scoring shots as well. Masood's tactics were all wrong, for me anyway. But anyway, at the end of it, they're all saying, yeah, it was a terrible fight, you've got to do a lot better. So they were humble in their victory. But I think secretly, they knew they probably shouldn't have won that fight. I think Eddie Hearn afterwards, he was basically saying, it wasn't a great fight either. So, but the one ref in particular, I think they were scoring it, 2 refs were scoring, judges were scoring 96-94, which was, I'm not sure whether that was, maybe the other way, fine, but not that way, okay, fine. But one had it 98-92. I mean, what the hell was he looking at, And the Ade Oladipo, who was basically, there's a scandal as well. Was it Tony Bellew and, was it Peter Jones, was it? It was not Peter Jones, who was it? The other ex-boxer, it was commentating. They were saying, not sure about that. And this goes to show, we've had it in Joe Cordina fight last week. I was just thinking, what the hell is these boxing scores? But, you get it, don't you? And it just makes you wonder what the hell they're looking at. And, why is there such a subjective thing? And how can one judge see something completely different to another judge? But there we go. But anyway, listen, I just saw that. I saw some other boxing last night. I think it was in Talford or Dudley or somewhere. And some shenanigans going on there as well. I don't know what the hell's all that about. And this boxer Tyron Booth, or he just walked out. I don't know what was going on. I don't know the story there. I don't know the background to it. It just wasn't impressive, put it that way. But I say I only saw a glimpse of that. But I was watching the the fighting on DAZN really, and then obviously I just caught the highlights of UFC 295 early this morning before I got on the train and come here. But anyway, listen, great for Aspinall, fantastic win, and Pereira, but great to see a British fighter, a UK fighter, English fighter winning, UFC heavyweight crown. For me, he is world champion. None of this interim. He is world champion, because if you can't defend your title, that's it. I believe that in boxing as well. If you can't defend your title, you should be out of it and let somebody else take it. And that's what's holding up the heavyweight division in the boxing right now, isn't it? Because you're not defending mandatories and everything like that. Interestingly, this week, if you didn't know, Terence Crawford has been stripped of his IBF world title because he can't fight the mandatory opponent. And I believe when Tyson Fury fights Usyk, it's going to be a similar situation. I think the IBF will be stripping whoever the outcome winner of that is. They'll be stripping them off the IBF, and that's why they're all lining up, to try and get a shot at a world title soon afterwards, because the IBF is going to be free. I'm not 100% sure on that, but let us know your thoughts. But anyway, listen, I'm here for West. You can just see the stadium there in the background. West Ham against Nottingham Forest. Let's just see how we get on. I think it's going to be quite a tight game today. Actually, I really do. I haven't been that impressed with us the last few games. Obviously, we haven't been doing great in the league. Nottingham Forest coming off a great win against Aston Villa. Let's just see. I think it's going to be really tight. I think it's going to be quite similar to last season, that we might leave it late until we actually do the business. But let's see how we get on. Right, on to the next one, and I'll catch you on a video coming very soon. Ta-da now. I've got to try and turn this off. See ya.